If there is anything that I hope that people learn from the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni lawsuit, it's that narcissistic abuse is very, very serious. I have been reading through some of the amendment and some of the timeline, and it's a lot. I commend those of you who are reading all of it. I've been mostly been watching videos on it because it's too much for my brain fog brain to comprehend and process. But from what I've read, I cannot believe what this man had to deal with. This man genuinely is an angel. I hope that people end up understanding from this lawsuit that narcissistic abuse is a cult. Just like Hollywood, in my opinion, is kind of like a cult. But in my opinion, Hollywood is a narcissistic system that rewards abusers, as we have seen in recent years. I mean, we've known this for a long time. A lot of people have known this for a long time, but it's becoming more and more apparent to the public and to the mainstream how truly corrupt Hollywood is. And narcissists and narcissism thrives in these hierarchical, power-protected environments and hierarchies, right? And these narcissistic systems, they thrive in the dark. They're afraid of the truth, they're afraid of the people who tell the truth, and they're afraid of people who have that inner light. Because what narcissists are, while they love people who have the inner light, they want to take from them, and they see them as easy prey, the way that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds did, and one of the reasons why they targeted Justin Baldoni in the first place, because you can tell he has an inner empathy, he has an inner light. You can call him a light worker. And I feel like the more that I see in the world, the more it just comes down to these two polarities. Someone who has their own inner light, and on the other end of the spectrum, those who steal that light because they have no inner light of their own. I want to get into this in another video, but there is such a thing as people stealing. Obviously, we've all heard of energy vampires. There's energy vampirism, but there's also something called destiny stealing. And I think that's what Blake Lively was attempting to do with Justin Baldoni. She was trying to steal his movie and his impact on the world. It's not, in my opinion, yes, a big part of it is about money, but there's also a spiritually underlining element as well. People like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, they have no ability to create anything of themselves that is unique, soulful, authentic. And so because they lack authenticity, narcissists lack authenticity, they will latch on and steal the energy and steal whatever they can from those, the brightest of the bright, the light workers of the world. And so many people like Justin Baldoni, light workers, have been crushed by narcissists and stolen from and destroyed. Their reputations destroyed, their lives destroyed, even their health destroyed. And narcissism 100% impacts your health. In fact, Justin Baldoni himself was hospitalized after all these shenanigans. It happened around June 10th, 2024. And I 100% guarantee you, that this was because of narcissistic abuse that he experienced from Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Like, it 100% sucks out your life force, and it causes you so much stress, and it destroys your limbic system. This man literally had a spinal infection. Like, you might want to call it coincidence, but I don't think it is. After dealing with all of this, and then him becoming a young, healthy man, going into the hospital for something like this, as someone who's experienced narcissistic abuse my whole life, I'm still experiencing it. I've never been in a healthy environment. I'm still in a narcissistic environment myself, and I'm chronically ill. That's not the only reason. I have other things going on as well, but I can guarantee you that the narcissistic abuse I've experienced since childhood is definitely playing a role for me. I was watching another lady on here who also suffered narcissistic abuse, and she was recommending a supplement, colloidal gold, I believe. She said it reversed her brain damage. She was talking about how narcissistic abuse is actually proven to cause brain damage. It genuinely feels like we are in this battle between good and evil. I mean, you could say that that's been true since the beginning of humanity, but I am so glad that we are finally living in a time where the narcissistic abusers of the world, who have literally been ruling this world for a very long time, are finally becoming held accountable. I think that it is time for a new paradigm, that these narcissistic abusers are finally held accountable, that their power systems that protect them are stripped away, that the flying monkeys and the people who take their side because they're too afraid to rock the boat. By the way, those people irritate me so much. Like, people are saying, oh yeah, we understand why the cast did that because, they're just trying to, keep the peace in Hollywood and further their career. If they went against them, their career would also be destroyed. We should understand that. Me personally, I don't understand that, and I just screw them. Literally screw them. Because I've had people in my life standing there watching the narcissistic abuse happen, watching the physical abuse happen to me, and they did literally nothing. I cannot forgive them, and I cannot forgive the cast for what they did to Justin Baldoni because they were too afraid of the power systems in place to the point where they were not authentic and they didn't stand up for the truth. I do not have respect for people like that. And I genuinely hope that the cast who did not, and obviously we could say, I'll try to reel it back a little bit. We could say that they weren't sure and that Blake Lively was spinning narratives, and narcissists do that too. Sometimes people just believe the narcissist because they're so charming and because they're so persuasive a lot of the times, and I can understand why people may have genuinely believed her. So I'll try to rein back my judgment a little bit, but for those who really didn't believe her, because this is the thing. Even Isabella, the actress who played young Blake Lively or young Lily Bloom in the film, she said that her experience working with him was wonderful. She loved it. She didn't even question when Blake Lively brought up these accusations. Like, this is what I think is so upsetting to me, is that, like, for example, in my experience, in my situation, there were some people who made their judgments based off of one side alone. They didn't even ask for my side. And it's like that quote that says the only thing that's necessary for evil to triumph in the world is for good men to do nothing. And that's the point. I want to see people start to stand up for what's right, no matter the cost. And I know it's not easy. There's some scary consequences out there. But I know 100% that nothing will change unless people do. And that's one of the reasons why I think this lawsuit is really amazing, because even though the people in the cast or whatever did not stand by Justin Baldoni, the public is. And another thing that destroys a person's health, have we not seen it in nature? It's human nature to need a tribe. When we are completely isolated and outcasted from the tribe, outcasted from society, which is what narcissists do to their empaths, to their empath dynamic, right? In the empath dynamic, And this is how evil has been reigning in the world, and how good has been literally destroyed, and the people who are meant to have this purpose, this light work to create something good in the world, it becomes tampered with because of narcissists trying to steal that light. People have asked, why have Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds tried to steal it? They have so much money, they could make a production of their own. You want to know why? I said it earlier. It's because money cannot buy authenticity. Sure, they could make a movie of their own, a production of their own. But when a narcissist sees what an empath is doing, a light worker is doing as authentic, as something that's actually truly art in the world, and I'm not saying that story is like the best art in the world, but that was his intention, and he was going to make it so because he has that genuine artist spirit, right? He was going to make something that's what he said, his intention. I want to make something that touches people's hearts and gets people to think I thought, or something like that. And when narcissists see that, they get massively jealous. It angers them because they know they can never have that. So what's the next thing they try to do? This is taken from, the Bible itself, right? When we think about like Lucifer and God and everything like that. If you don't have that inner light, they just try to steal it. And eventually they'll figure out that whatever they do with it, people are going to hate. What has happened with it ends with us. The fashion was terrible. Everyone hated it. And so if they can't steal it, then they decide to destroy it and to destroy the person who's capable of doing it. And this is often done under the radar so subtly, and the victim is buried forever. But not anymore, because it ends with us.